Hey, this is Andrew Jones. You watch On Deck with Tyler.
Hey guys, Mike Fulton here. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Hi, this is Phil Necro. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
This is Walk the Banks. I'm on deck. Tyler Redmond.
Welcome into On Deck. I'm Tyler Redmond. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date with all things going on in Braves country. And as always, you can follow me on social media if you want to. Tyler Redmond at Bubblegum Jesus. That is on Twitter and Instagram. So last night, the Braves took on the Yankees in Game 2 of the two-game series in New York. And Inoue took the mound in a bullpen game, and he would face Masahiro Tanaka. Inoue would come in for a couple of innings, but he'd only get credit for one. He would be scoreless through that first inning and give the Braves a chance to put some runs on the board in the second. So in the second inning, Duvall would strike out swinging, Markakis would single, and Camargo would come up and he would hit a two-run bomb, and he knew it was gone the moment he hit it. He hit it off of Masahiro Tanaka. 391 feet down the right field line, 2-0 Braves. Good to see some runs early in the game rather than all of them coming in the late innings, but those would be the only runs that the Braves were able to get at that moment. The Yankees would immediately respond, and they would get to Inoue. Hitting back-to-back jacks, Gary Sanchez first showed off his power, 387-foot homer, 2-1 Braves. Frazier would follow it up, two go back-to-back, 410-foot homer, 2-2 ball game. Tyler Matzik would come in and save the inning. And just a note here, Tyler Matzik has really struggled with shutting down an inning. He's really good if he starts out an inning. He won't give up any runs. But coming in with runners on and pressure being on him, he hasn't been successful the past couple of times. And good to see that he was able to keep runners off the board with inherited runners. So it would still be a 2-2 ball game going into the third inning. The Braves offense would be silent, though, and the Yankees were not. They would gain the lead versus Matzik in the bottom of the fourth. DJ LeMahieu led off the inning with a single, and after a Voit flied out, Hicks would double to deep center, scoring LeMahieu 3-2 Yankees. Josh Tomlin would come in following Matzik, and he would get Urshela a ground out before giving up a hit to Torres, scoring Hicks 4-2 Yankees, and the Yankees weren't done. In the bottom of the fifth, with one out, Frazier would double. LeMahieu would have a two-out single, scoring Frazier 5-2 Yankees. LeMahieu would follow that up by stealing second base, and Voit would single to center field. LeMahieu scored on the play, 6-2 Yankees. So the Braves would bring in Darren O'Day to stop the bleeding. He would strike out Gio Urshela to end the inning, and everything was quiet until the top of the ninth inning. That's right, the Braves would respond with one out. Swanson would double. That would be followed up by a Darno single to deep right, 6-3 Yankees, and that would be the final score. The Braves would not make a comeback, and they would lose the series to the Yankees in New York. So that, again, the Braves have a lot going against them right now. They have a lot of guys hurt. Soroka's gone for the year. Hamels is out till probably at least September. Albies is out for the foreseeable future. And Acuña is at least out for this weekend. So we're going to get to an injury update on Acuña in a second. But a lot of you have taken to the comment section, taken to Twitter, taken to Facebook, and just you question whether or not Snitker is capable of handling this club. And I don't want you to rush to judgment. Here's why. Snitker is now a two-time National League Manager of the Year. Okay, he has managed a club of young and old, and he has managed to pull them together to accomplish what they've accomplished over the past couple of years. This season is different than anything any of us have ever seen before, right? Just in the circumstances. You're only 60-game season, first of all. Second of all, you're now dealing with 4 injuries to 4 major players, not to mention the guys opting out, okay? So the pitching staff, let's take this into consideration for a second, right? So coming into this year, Braves fans and, of course, Braves management assumed that they were going to have Mike Soroka, Max Fried, Sean Newcomb, Mike Fultonevich, Felix Hernandez, and Cole Hamels. Okay, that's 6 guys. So since then, Felix Hernandez has opted out, Cole Hamels has gotten hurt, and Soroka has gotten hurt, and Mike Fultonevich didn't perform to up to speed, and Sean Newcomb didn't perform up to speed. Is that really a managerial problem? Because if that's what you want to try to tell me, I'm not going to believe it. At the end of the day, you put the pieces on the field and you see what happens. And the Braves have just had every obstacle thrown their way, whether that be internal or external. And to be honest with you, I don't know that there's any fixing it this season. I hope that there is, but I can't guarantee that. A lot of you are saying, we need to rush these guys up to the majors, the Ian Andersons of the world, the Tucker Davidsons. And I wouldn't be completely against that. But when they come up and they don't perform well, I already know that there's going to be this camp of fans that just want them gone. Just like there's a camp of guys that just want Bryce Wilson gone right now, right? Maybe it's warranted, maybe it's not. But at the end of the day, these guys are young. Bryce Wilson's only 22 years old, and people already think he's a bust, right? Do you really want that with Ian Anderson? Do you really want that with Tucker Davidson or Patrick Weigel or anybody else? Because I don't think that's a very good way to bring up guys. I really don't. I think the way we brought up Mike Soroka, the way we brought up Max Fried, that's the way we want to go about it. I don't mind giving those guys some time, but throwing them in the fire and then getting mad when it doesn't result in a great, outstanding performance throughout the year, you can't be mad at it. Right now, the Braves, literally, their pitching staff consists of Max Fried, Tiki Toussaint, Kyle Wright, and the bullpen. So I don't think it's a managerial problem. I think it is a health problem, and I think it is a depth problem. And it's not even necessarily a depth problem in the sense of something you can help. It's only, it's a health problem. Can the Braves stay healthy? That is a question that is warranted. But that's just my thought there. So let's give you an injury update on Ronald Acuña real quick. So Acuña missed the 2-game series with the Yankees, and we got a little bit more information about what he thinks he might have done. So this is an article from Mark Bowman. Ronald Acuña Jr. will miss this weekend's series in Miami, but it appears the Braves outfielder will avoid the injured list. Acuña received encouraging news regarding his left wrist on Wednesday night, as an MRI exam and a CT scan showed no structural damage. His recent discomfort has been caused by inflammation, which should be remedied with a few more days of rest. They did all the tests and everything, it's just irritated, Braves manager Brian Snitker said after his club's 6-3 loss to the Yankees. Hopefully he can get it calmed down and we'll reevaluate him on Monday. So it's looking like he's going to be reevaluated on Monday, and that is when we'll really know what's going on. Obviously, he missed a 2-game series with the Yankees. More than likely going to miss the series with the Marlins, but important thing is he doesn't have any broken bones. He doesn't have any major problems, and he just needs some rest. 3 homers will do that to you. But hopefully he'll be back soon. Obviously, missing him and Ozzie Albies in the lineup certainly isn't going to help things. The Braves offense, though, hasn't had any problems putting up runs. Last night they only scored 3, but the night before it was 6. There's no problem with the offense. The problem is definitely with the pitching. It's a good thing this isn't Max Fried, because then we'd really be in a pickle. And imagine if that happened. What if Max Fried went down? That is how important being healthy is. And the Braves just have not been able to stay healthy. I think that if Cole Hamels wasn't hurt, if Mike Soroka didn't go down, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. But things change. Teams have to adapt. I don't think this is going to be an indication of what the Braves are going to be over the next 5 years. A lot of you, maybe not a lot of you, but some of you have messaged me saying that you think that the Braves have just really made a lot of mistakes and you think this is how it's going to be. No, it's not. The Braves are having a bad year. It's been a bad run, but it could easily be fixed if they do something at the deadline or if they bring up some guys and they perform up to speed. I would bet more on them doing something at the deadline if they're going to compete this year, but that's just me. So, could this lead to prospects coming up? Pache, right? Acuña. Acuña's out. Should we bring up Pache? I don't think so, because he'd only be up for a little bit of time, and you're losing an option at that point. If it was a long-standing injury, if he was going to be gone for a month, then I would say, yeah. But we have plenty of outfitters. We have Duvall, we have Markakis, we have Ender. All those guys have played time there this year. I wouldn't bring up a whole nother prospect for a weekend. I just wouldn't do it. The Braves are off tonight. Tomorrow night they will finally take on the Marlins, and that's always a good way to right the ship, right? Taking on Miami, because the Braves always typically have success in Miami, especially Freddie Freeman. Unfortunately, Ronald Acuña wouldn't be in this game, but he has a lot of success against the Marlins, and the Braves over the past few years have just absolutely dominated in Miami. So Hopefully the Braves will be able to stop the momentum of the Marlins, who are currently 8-4 and are in first place by winning percentage. And the Braves are 11-9. They're over 500 still, but no doubt they have got to deal with some health and depth issues if they're going to compete. I do wish that Acuña was facing the Marlins tonight for obvious reasons, but it is good that he'll be avoiding the injury list because we can't sacrifice the key player of the Braves. So it will be Kyle Wright taking the mound versus Pablo Lopez. Again, that game is tomorrow night at 7:10 p.m. You can see the recap here on Saturday morning. I will get that to you as soon as I can, but to see that, you need to like this video, you need to subscribe to this channel, you need to hit the bell for notifications, and hey, you can follow me on social media so that you know right when that video drops. I always give you an update there too. That is on Twitter, Instagram, Tyler Redmond, @BubblegumJesus. As always, I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time on deck.